times have I seen men in your state? I've been in it many times over myself. The thrill of victory fades quickly. Stop talking. I will never stop talking now. I speak only when there's something to be said.
Thank you for being here with me.
Philadelphia's real-life Rocky, based on the true story of Vince Papale, played by Mark Wahlberg, a 30-year-old bartender from South Philadelphia who overcame long odds to play for the NFL's Philadelphia Eagles in 1976. Disney Studios takes us on a fluffed-up ride with a down-on-his-luck 30-year-old substitute teacher and bartender. His wife leaves him when he needs the most support and leaves a devastating note that says he will never amount to anything, never make a name for himself, and never make any money. Disney now has the hero's journey set for Vince, one of the oldest tales in all of storylines. While Vince is definitely the hero in this story, the second most important character in this movie is someone I believe most people missed if not paying attention to the ancient archetypes that have been played out throughout human history through Shakespearian storylines. The second star in the movie Invincible is Vince's friend, Johnny, whose acting aligns perfectly with the archetype of John Falstaff.
What is honor? Here, a trim reckoning. Who hath it? He that died a Wednesday. Doth he feel it? No. 'Tis insensible, and yea, to the dead. But will it not live with the living? No. Why? Detraction will not suffer it, therefore I'll none of it. Honor is a mere scutcheon. And so ends my catechism.
Sir John Falstaff is a fictional character who appears in 3 plays by William Shakespeare and is eulogized in a 4th. His significance as a fully developed character is primarily formed in the plays Henry IV, Part 1 and Part 2. Where he is a companion to Prince Hal, the future King Henry V of England. The town drunk, also called a tavern fool, is a stock character, almost always male, who is drunk more often than sober.
Mr. Gumble, you're upsetting me.
No, I'm not. Gee, is that what I look like when I'm drunk? You wish.
The town drunk may serve as a jester figure, a semi-comic proxy for the wise old man. He may disrupt public meetings, either for comic effect or by dispensing what proves to be wisdom in a garbled and comic form.
That's the stage we call Professor Barney. Talkative, coherent, even insightful.
Around here, the town drunk is a person of great honor.
Why does he get to run a tab? I know. Because he's got a job, that's why. That's great, Max. That's a great way to treat a friend. You know what I'm on stage for? Not so long, pal. Not so long. See you on the unemployment line.
Or in this incarnation, the character may introduce the hero to some of the worldlier sorts of wisdom, as well as forming a contrast to his truly heroic character, which all ties back to Johnny's important role for Vince as being his catalysts to true heroic success.
Hey, forget it, he's drunk. Hey, forget it, he's drunk.
There were 3 key moments in the movie Invincible where Johnny, played by actor Dov Davidoff, gave indispensable wisdom to his friend Vince, while it being masked behind drunken sorrow for his own downtrodden life situation. While Johnny is seen as a quote-unquote Vince hater throughout most of the movie, under the surface, he is the reason why Vince catapulted to his success. Let's start from the beginning.
Leonard Toes announced the hiring of UCLA's Dick Vermeil as
Hey, Grumpy. You want to turn up the tube?
Before I take your questions, I'd like to make a quick announcement. Philadelphia Eagles will hold open tryouts.
Nobody's trying out, Tommy, okay?
Why not? You clean up at all our games.
The hero of this movie finally gets his quest from his friends who understand his potential more than he does. While he does have some doubters at the bar, he is still a local superstar in the league games.
The whole difference between me, Joe Green, and Bobby from the Tank.
Why not? Your old lady ain't gonna stop you.
What'd you say, Johnny?
Come on.
This is the first magical moment between Vince and Johnny. Through all the commotion at the bar, Johnny cuts through the noise and gives the cold, hard, sobering truth.
Why not? Your old lady ain't gonna stop you.
And Johnny is totally right if you listen to what he is actually saying. This is an opportunity of a lifetime, and in this current situation, Vince has no baggage from anyone close to him to hold him back.
I'll bet you $5 that fly lands on my glass first. It's a bet.
Drunk or not, jobless or not, Johnny is right. Vince's wife isn't stopping him, so there is no reason for him not to try out for the Eagles.
Hey, forget it. It's drunk.
This isn't UCLA anymore. These are the toughest fans there are. They threw snowballs at Santa Claus. You remember?
Still on boys, Tommy. Not this year, Paul. Oh! Not in this town. Not in this town.
Philadelphia has always been a tough town. A town where you don't just chase your dreams, you tackle them.
After all the cinematic persuasions from Vince's friends and dad,
might not be the worst thing to let this one go. Man can only take so much failure.
Papali's first call was to his first coach, to his father, to a Westinghouse steel plant and a man who worked there for 50 years, to a man nicknamed Kingy.
They said, tell Kingy, we're a Philadelphia Eagle. And all I could hear in the background was Westinghouse going nuts. It just erupted in cheers and celebration.
he goes to the Eagles tryouts and runs a 4.5 40-yard dash, wowing the coaching staff. Ultimately, he makes the training camp roster and survives the first few cuts. But he isn't out of the woods yet, and Johnny will once again get Vince back on track. Vince is gaining notoriety around the area, confidence, and is starting to form romantic tension between his future wife, Janet.
A giant shirt? Were you trying to get me killed here?
So how'd it go?
Got a rope.
Who is a Giants fan, the Eagles' oldest and most bitter rival. For every good hero's journey, there is a heroine.
Chicken soup. Cures everything, yeah?
The counterpart of romantic weakness to the alpha male. For every Hercules, there is a Megara. Usually, as emphasized in movies, timing is everything in these scenarios. And Johnny knows now is not the time for Vince to allow other experiences to pull him away from the one he truly wants and the experience that will transcend the whole city.
Anybody take you to Columbus yet? Best chicks dating Philly.
Anybody ask him?
Janet will eventually love Vince for who he is because she allows him to play out his hero's journey.
Wow, what a day. First that restaurant by the bay, and then that play, that Oedipus thing?
Long as 9 o'clock gets you back for your curfew.
Wonder Boy, you are perfect.
Thanks. Whoops.
Jump back pretty fast, huh, buddy boy? Jump back pretty fast, huh, buddy boy?
Hold up. Let Johnny cook for a second. Let him cook. Johnny John Falstaff is the hero's hero once again.
You really think a nice looking girl from New York should come back, start over on us? Just because everybody's cheering for you, trying to be an eagle?
I don't want to hurt you, so let's both do ourselves a favor and stop this.
Just talking here. What's your problem, John? You'll still be nothing, man. When all this is over and done, nothing.
Before we...
All right, break it up! Break it up! Party's over! I've been looking all over this town!
Just like the rest of us.
And as for you, you bum, you're gonna go to the stadium and you're gonna be put through the workout of your life. Now get on the horse.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I was just thinking, you know what?
I didn't think I was going to make it past the first week of all this. Maybe it's just better if I just think about one thing instead of everything else.
He'll get over it.
Jen.
Yeah, we'll do this tomorrow night. I'll tell everyone you said hi.
Move! Move, 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 move! Move!
Papali was invited to training camp, where he played in preseason games and made an impression as a sure-handed receiver and special teamer, surviving cut after cut, lasting longer than anyone thought.
Why don't you hang on to that for a few more months? Welcome to the Eagles.
Just before the final cut day, Vermeil approached Papali on the field.
I look at him, and I'm thinking, hey, this has been really a great experience. Thanks a lot, Coach. I know, you know. And he says, congratulations, old man. He says, you're a Philadelphia Eagle. He says, nice job. And he shook my hand. And I went nuts.
Vince does it. He makes the Eagles' final 53-man roster for the regular season. The miracle does manifest. South Philly's very own will be representing the city on Sundays.
You're a freaking Eagle, aren't you? Freaking Philadelphia Eagle!
Receiving an NFL paycheck for a full season is nothing to downplay. So it's totally okay for our hero Vince to celebrate with his pals with a few drinks. Vince finally acknowledges Johnny for his key role by buying him a drink. And asks Max why Johnny seems mad at him.
Let me ask you a question, Max. Oh, John.
It's the worst time in his life right now. He's got no job, he's got no family. He just got us. You're one of us.
But in reality, the real work has just begun, and the Wolves on the other side of the playing field is a step up in competition for Vince. Being a Philadelphia Eagle provides a very unique situation for Vince. He feels that he is out of place everywhere in his life. He is an Eagle, so he cannot do the same things his friends can, but the Eagles players don't respect Vince because they feel he took a valuable spot on the team. This dilemma weighs on Vince heavily, but the one person who can bring him out of the dumps will, and in his own way. Johnny persuades Vince to get back to his roots and play football with his boys.
Hustle up, let's go. Hustle. Come to watch us get dragged through the mud? Just trying, bro.
The very thing Vince needed to let all the pressure of being a professional player go.
You know, Vince, I don't know how much longer the Eagles are going to need you, but your friends could use a little help.
For the third and final time, Johnny turns out to be the hero's hero for Vince. Instead of taking the disgruntled town drunk route and speaking to Vince, Johnny playfully jokes with him like old times. Johnny shows awareness, which highlights the range of ability from the Falstaff role.
You're nuts, you know that? So, Max, good to see you.
Devising and running a trick pass play from Vince to Johnny is the climax of the film because Vince once again feels like a kid. Thank you for your role, Johnny John Falstaff.
Even if this is your last game with the Eagles, win one for the boys in the neighborhood, huh?
Fly, Eagles, fly, baby. Go Birds.
I just sprinted out of that tunnel full speed. I don't think my feet touched the ground, and I went all the way to the end of the field in the end zone, and I looked up in the stands and I saw my dad, and I just pointed up at him and all my buddies I had season tickets with, and they were going ballistic. They were absolutely going nuts.
I speak only when there's something to be said.
Join my Patreon today for only $5 to receive a monthly esoteric documentary on your favorite sports athletes and events. Real, raw, uncut, and uncensored without the limitations of YouTube. Join today to see the other side of the sports world.